evening, my Lotus petals, and welcome to another powerful episode of Uma Talks. Hi, guys. I'm Uma, the CEO and owner of the Lotus and the Light Metaphysical Center, and I'm also a soul alignment coach. For over 16 years, I've guided thousands of clients and students through the process of awakening, helping them shed old identities, heal deep wounds, and align with the spiritual path their soul came here to walk. Whether it's through intuitive coaching, energy healing, or metaphysical education, my mission is to empower you to live as your most authentic awakened self. And that is exactly what we're diving into tonight, because this spiritual shift of 2025 is more than just a trend. It is your soul's invitation to rise. So let's explore it together. Big shout out to those of you that are watching me live on my YouTube channel, The Lotus and the Light. We are watching the Travel the Universe while relaxation space ambient music video. Big shout out to the Relaxation Ambience channel. If you are watching this live, please go ahead and hit a like on my YouTube video as well as the relaxation video as well. Okay. So I want to first ask you, have you noticed it? Have you noticed the spiritual shift of 2025? It's something that is quietly tugging within you, as it is tugging within the collective consciousness hearts of everyone, that nudge to let go of things that once defined you, jobs, relationships, habits, even identities. I can tell you guys, the big shift came for me concerning my weight. Now, I know most of you that listen to my channel know me. You've seen me either in person or on screen, and you might say, "Oh, Ma, you look fine." And I do. Actually, I really do. But there was that part of me that was trying to keep up with the Joneses. And the Joneses for me being my high school friends, my college friends, or anyone who was just really able to keep their weight in check after having kids, after working crazy jobs, after getting divorces, and still look great. And I'm like, how come they could do it and I can't do it? Right? Well, I got diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder, and it made me very aware of the fact that my body is not processing things as easily. And it made me so understanding that I may be having to hold on weight a little while longer as I figure this out. But it also taught me to get comfortable with the weight that I'm in. So that was a big thing for me, because this world that we live in is so body conscious and physical approved that the idea of just being okay being overweight is almost sounding like you're giving up, not shifting focus, shifting gears. Have you noticed that within yourself? Whether it's you giving it up for your body or your jobs, maybe relationships, maybe you've gotten tired of the dating pool and decided, you know what, I'm going to hang out by myself, and I'm pretty okay with that. Maybe some of you had habits of going to the club, going to the bar every Friday night, and now you're like, I just really rather stay home and catch up on my beauty sleep. But whatever that nudge is, I just want you to know you're not alone. You're not broken. You're what we called having a spiritual awakening. And tonight, that is what we're going to talk about what's really happening and why you might feel like you're caught in between worlds. So grab some tea, take a breath, and let's begin. So, what is the spiritual shift of 2025? Well, you may have heard some people talk about spiritual awakenings. I myself wrote a book called The Awakened Life on spiritual awakenings. But let's go deeper than what you've heard on TikTok or Instagram or even from myself. 2025 carries a very specific energetic signature, one that's destined to reshape the spiritual landscape of our lives. If you look at the world right now through the lens of astrology, you'll see what I'm talking about. Because what's happening in the skies mirrors what we're feeling in our souls. There's a saying we have, and it says, as above, so below. And this is why astrology is so helpful, because we can see from what the planets are doing and predict how it's going to affect us here on Earth. So the first thing we want to talk about is Pluto in Aquarius. On January 20th, 2024, last year, Pluto, the planet of death, rebirth, and transformation, entered Aquarius for the first time since the late 1700s. Can you imagine? After dipping back into Capricorn for a brief retrograde in 2024, Pluto officially re-entered Aquarius on November 19th, 2024, just last year, and it's going to stay there in Aquarius until 2043. That's like another 18 years away. So what does that mean? Pluto in Aquarius is revolutionizing our relationship with power, systems, technology, and community. It's dissolving outdated structures, sorry, Capricorns, and ushering in a new age of collective consciousness, innovation, and humanitarian awakening, thanks to the sign of Aquarius. So we are being asked to step into empowered individuality while contributing to a higher collective mission. This energy will dominate the entire year of 2025. It's the undercurrent behind the rise in spiritual awakenings, AI consciousness debates, and the collapse of old paradigms. Immediately, I think about Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, and now P. Diddy, all these men in power that were taking advantage of women in their industries and, essaying them. I'm also thinking about Jeffrey Epstein and all the child essay trafficking charges that are being made aware now in the public. With this change, you're going to be noticing a deep distrust in traditional institutions. We've seen that with the banking industry. Sudden shifts in friendships and communities. We saw that with Taylor, gosh, I cannot remember these people's names. Taylor Swift and her best friend, the woman who is in a legal battle right now with her coworker from a movie that they made. See, now I'm going to have to look it up. Blake Lively. That's what it is. And Justin Baldoni, right? So we're seeing the shift in friendships as Taylor Swift now is moving away from Blake Lively because she's involved in that drama. We're seeing a call to live more authentically and think for yourself. We can see that on social media where we have a lot more accounts that are showing you how to live off the grid, how to garden, how to grow your own food. And there's also an urge to innovate or join social causes. We're definitely seeing that with people protesting the current government and just more protests in general for anything. That's Pluto. Pluto is urging us to evolve beyond the comfort zone as individuals and as a species. So just, I mean, could you imagine? That's just Pluto in Aquarius, right? Happening this year. And for the next 18 years, we're going to have this energy, which I personally like, moving away from these outdated systems and more with the humanitarian efforts, us versus I. But we also have Neptune in Aries. So Neptune moved into Aries on March 30th, 2025, this year. And this is significant too, because Neptune is the dreamy, mystical planet of intuition, spirituality, and illusions. It is leaving Pisces after 14 years. And guess where it's entering into? Aries, fiery Aries. So when we had Neptune and Pisces, it was like a soft, inward, escapist kind of energy. But now moving into Aries, we're going to find an energy that is more bold, driven, and ready for action. This marks the beginning of a new spiritual era where we're no longer content to just feel spiritual or meditate in isolation. We want to embody our soul's purpose. We want to lead. We want to act. Neptune in Aries is about spiritual courage, fighting for truth and authenticity, activating your soul mission, and moving from inner awakening into outer transformation. It's a deeply transformational time. And I will tell you that I have a 6-month program called the Enlightened Lotus program. And it's specifically geared to train and develop people on the spiritual path, either to become an evolved light worker within themselves or to become a professional light worker to help others. And this year, I've seen more interest in this program than the past 15 years it's been up. So I attribute that to Neptune and Aries energy, because this is the year where spirituality meets fire. This is the year where mystics become warriors of light, empaths become leaders. We're seeing people stepping up to rise, not just in vibration, but in action. And we can attribute Neptune and Aries for that. So that's the backdrop we have for 2025. Pluto in Aquarius, change, reform, removing outdated systems. Neptune in Aries, a fire to the will of spiritual development. What can we expect in a mass awakening? Well, from these two astrological movements alone, we can expect systems to crumble. And I know a lot of people are freaking out right now because of the impending recession and tariffs and everything that's going on, but systems are crumbling to make way for soul-centered leadership. Whether it is the leadership of the government or small town leaders that are going to step up to take care of their communities amidst all the chaos. We will also see old identities dissolve, who you used to be, who you thought you were, as you reveal your most luminous self. You become, or you step on the path you truly want to walk. This is the year your soul won't let you stay asleep. Not now, not evermore, not with all these cosmic alignments going on. So if you felt like time is speeding up, your intuition is louder, your life is being shaken up in wild ways, now you know why. You're not crazy. You're definitely not broken. You are being reborn in this moment, in this time. It's not a new age moment. It is a collective upgrade. Energetically, it feels like the veils between dimensions are thinning. There's more sensitivity, more synchronicity, more truth rising to the surface as we shed the density of old paradigms patriarchy, hustle culture, trauma cycles. We're removing all of it. And we're stepping into higher consciousness of unity, authenticity, and divine purpose. My beautiful lotus petals, you're not just living through a timeline change, you are the shift. You are here to anchor this light into the world. So let's talk about what you're going to be experiencing on a soul level awakening. We're going to break this down now because many of you are feeling the symptoms of having a soul level awakening, but you don't yet have the language to describe what's happening. I'll give you that language. Here are some signs that you're going through a soul level awakening. Number one, you feel disconnected from your old identity. You no longer identify as mother, sister, daughter, worker, coworker, wife, child. You feel like something more, and that is tied to your new identity. Number two, you're tired, but it's not a physical tiredness. It's a soul deep tiredness. Now, if you know, you know. For some of you listening, you might not get that. But for most of you, you'll understand what I'm saying. Number three, old wounds are resurfacing for healing. Some of you are dealing with people from your past showing back up in your life, or having memories of past times that you're meant to close the door on, not reawaken it again. Number four, you're hypersensitive to energy, noise, or people. I know for me, I hardly go out anymore. And I used to judge myself so harshly because I was like, wow, Uma, you're becoming really like an introverted stay-at-home person with her partner too happy to do the same. And I always thought, oh, well, we're weird. All we want to do is just stay home. But I'm beginning to understand now that the higher we rise in our vibrations, the harsher it is to be in the environment outside because it's filled with so much negativity and toxicity. Number five, because of what I just said, you may crave nature, silence, or solitude now more than ever. Because as you start to clean your own home spiritually, you don't want the muddy feet of other people in it. You learn to enjoy the silence and the solitude and the peace. Which leads me to point number six. You're losing interest in what used to excite you. Whether it was going out, traveling, eating out at different restaurants, these things might change. I, for one, prefer local travel now, getting in my car and driving to destinations as opposed to flying. I prefer staying in on a Friday night instead of going out. And I definitely prefer growing my own food and cooking my own food instead of even eating at restaurants. And it's just a vibrational thing. Everything just feels cleaner. Lastly, another great tell that you're having a spiritual awakening is that you're questioning everything, even your spiritual beliefs. If you're at this point, you're really evolving, because when you're at that point where you're questioning the religion that you grew up in, the religion of your parents and grandparents, now you're on to some sort of soul level awakening status. If any of these sound familiar, you're not losing your mind. You're just finding your soul. These exact experiences are what I shared in my book, The Awakened Life. I wrote it as a guide to navigate the confusion, the chaos, and the clarity that comes with spiritual transformation. If this list speaks to your current journey, know that you're not alone. It's just that you're awakening to a new version of yourself. And that path, while messy, it is deeply, deeply sacred. Now, let's talk about that hard part. Because before you become to the breakthrough, there is burnout, chaos, and the breakdown that happens. Having this soul alignment shift is beautiful, but it isn't easy. And I say that as a professional who's helped people through their spiritual awakenings, and also personally from going through my own spiritual awakening. It's not easy because awakening often brings with it a breakdown. We burn out because we're running old programs in new energy. So that causes overexhaustion. We get overwhelmed because our nervous systems are adjusting to higher frequencies. It's beyond stressful. And we feel lost because the map we were given no longer applies. We can't turn to the people we once turned to because we've left them behind. It may feel a lot like punishment, but it's actually purification, trial by fire, if you will. It's what I call the soul stretch. When the universe is expanding you beyond your comfort zone, it can become very messy, emotional, and sacred. I can't tell you how many students have trained with me over the years in their spiritual development and halfway through our program quit on me or turned on me, putting all the blame on me. And I'm used to it because I understand all this emotional turmoil they're going through. Remember, I went through it as well. So if you're crying a lot, questioning everything, or even feeling like giving up, don't. This is the moment where you take a pause, you breathe, and you remind yourself, I am exactly where I need to be. Remember, my beautiful lotus petals, the mud is part of the lotus. You're not stuck, you're sprouting. So let's talk about how you can navigate this shift with grace and power. There's some ways to move through this shift with intention. And I'm going to give you some ideas of what you can do for your own mental health. Number one, ground daily. I try my hardest because I work from home and it's so easy to just get up and go right to work. But I try my hardest to go outside at least once a day. Walk barefoot, connect to the earth, unplug, take a nature walk, get under some trees, touch the grass, touch the leaves, but allow yourself to ground daily. It will connect you to Mother Nature, and Mother Nature will remind you what is truly important. Number two, cleanse your space regularly. I'm talking sage, sound bowls, taking a salt bath, having incense in the air. But cleansing your space regularly will help you navigate this shift and not add to your overwhelmment. I find like just being in a clean house eases a lot of my anxiety from all the other things that I'm going through. Number three, say no and protect your energy. Now, this is a bit harder because the people that you're saying no to are more than likely not going through a spiritual shift. So they are seeing you turn down all their invitations, not wanting to hang out, not wanting to be around, they're going to take it personally. And even if you try to explain to them, hey, I'm going through a spiritual shift, it's not you, it's me, they're not going to understand. So you're going to have to get creative on how you say no to people when you know, I don't want to do this thing. I just want to protect my energy. I've learned to come up with a variety of excuses to say no in a tactful way because I really don't want to have to say, I don't want to see you. I don't want to be around you. I just want to be by myself. Number 4 is most important. Because you're on a journey now that is just you and source, no middleman, you have to learn how to listen intently. Meditation, journaling, quiet time, no noise, no TV, no radio, just quiet time. These things can help you listen inwardly. It is through that inner voice that source speaks to you. And source speaking to you through your spiritual awakening is the most important thing that will help you get through it. Another thing that you can do to navigate your spiritual shift with grace is to reframe the chaos. Ask, what is this trying to teach me? Instead of going the route of poor me, pity me, why does this always happen to me? Ask a different question. What is this about? How does it get better than this? What is this trying to teach me? These questions will open up the energy more and give you more insight and clarity into what is going on. I also recommend finding a soul aligned community. This is not the time to do it alone. And if you have the means, I strongly recommend working with a spiritual mentor. Find someone who's already walked the path, someone who's already gone through a spiritual awakening, because they can hold space for your awakening and help you decode your spiritual experiences to guide you with compassion, clarity, and wisdom. I say this not just as a soul alignment coach, but as someone who's seen countless transformations happen when people stop trying to figure it all out on their own. And I know mentorship is an investment. I myself invested over $50,000 in my own training and understanding so I can really understand this spiritual awakening process. But you have to remind yourself the way I did. Yes, mentorship is an investment, but so is staying stuck, staying confused, or being overwhelmed for months or even years, because it ended up being costlier for me to sink into depression than it was to just get a mentor and figure things out. When you work with a mentor, you collapse timelines. And what I mean by that is you heal faster, you rise stronger, and you step confidently into your spiritual power with support, tools, and insight that's customized for you. It's a great thing to get a mentor. You don't have to have it all figured out. You only need to stay present and honor the invitation to feel called to let someone walk beside you as you rise. This shift that's happening is not just about you, it's about all of us. The sacred invitation of 2025 is to step into soul led living. You're being asked this year, are you ready to stop performing? Are you ready to stop pretending? Are you ready to stop waiting? You, me, and everyone we know, we're all being called to rise, not as a perfect being, but as a present one, awake, embodied, and empowered. So let me ask you this. What part of you is ready to be reborn? What can you release to rise higher? Who do you get to become on the other side of this? The veil is thinning. The time is now. And if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. If you're ready to deepen your awakening and step into your path as a spiritual leader, healer, or teacher, but you know you need guidance, structure, and support, my 6-month Enlightened Lotus program was created for you. It isn't just a course, it's a transformational container where you receive powerful monthly energy sessions, personal mentorship from me, deep metaphysical training, and the space to finally integrate your awakening into real life action. And this month only, I'm offering $500 off enrollment as my May special. So if my talk tonight stirred your soul, reach out. Let's talk. I offer everyone a free discovery call to explore whether this journey is aligned for you. No pressure, just sacred conversation, heart to heart. Send me a DM, email, or visit my website, thelotusandthelight.com. Your new life is waiting, and I'd be honored to walk beside you. As always, my beautiful lotus petals, remember, you are the lotus flower rising through the mud to share your beauty with the world. Don't let this sacred spiritual shift of 2025 pass you by. Join the millions of us who are choosing to elevate and align with our soul purpose. May peace, love, and light guide your path today and every day forward. Namaste.